Hey Mary, so Lady and I, hey Lady, look, hi. Yeah, Lady and I are going to get a hamburger because I'm hungry and I've been craving it and I've exercised very little actually, um, but I'm really hungry and hey, this is a matter of sanity, emotional health, yada yada yada. Um, right? It's raining still. You can't tell, but the screen. I wish the screen reflected. Come on, in the car, quickly. Good girl. I wish the screen reflected all the little drops that are on it right now. You're gonna see my shirt in a second as soon as I get in. As I wipe this off. Okay, it's good. Yeah, we're going to Burger King. I considered going to Wendy's, just because I'm curious if they do Macon in America, the beef bacon that you told me about that they do in like Saudi Arabia and everything with Wendy's. Um, I was gonna ask next time I go, next time I go alone. I don't want to. Jordan doesn't like to cause a fuss when he's. Let's see if this works. Yeah, Jordan doesn't like to cause a fuss when he's ordering. Like, he never wants to have like a complicated order. He doesn't want to be like, um, no onions, no lettuce, but keep the tomato, keep the pickles, or something. You know, he doesn't want to do the extra work that goes with certain orders, which is why he doesn't always like my ordering. Because I like to get a burger plain, which I mean that's just one extra thing. Like, can I get a number 3 plain with yada yada yada? Well, we're going through the drive-through, so you're gonna hear me ordering, and you'll hear just what my order is, and maybe at the end you'll hear my whatchamacallit, my eating of it. Like I'm gonna sneak a few fries, feed Lady a few fries. My mom and dad are a little more. I don't know. They're less. They're less spoily. They don't spoil her. They're less indulgent. That's a good thing. They're less indulgent of her lately, just because of like her weight and everything, and she's getting older, and they want to keep her healthy. Hopefully my windshield wiper is not too annoying. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. No, not that. I said down, not up. Sorry. But yeah, because it's raining. It's not raining a lot, but it's raining enough that it's probably annoying. It's going every second for you. Maybe not. Maybe you can't even really hear it. I assume you can, though. I just finished recording 2 episodes of Civilization 5, the simulation game where you get, like, take over the world. And I'm Maria Theresa, and China attacked me. I told you about it the one time. I told you it was a really nerdy thing that maybe you would be interested in, but you told me to tell you anyway, so I'm going to tell you a little more about not what happened in the game, but when recording. I was recording, I think I was doing a pretty good episode. I was talking about some movies I had seen lately and about Jordan, and I thought it was going very well, and it was like 20 minutes into it, and suddenly suddenly my laptop battery starts to die, and so I had it plugged in, so I was like, what's going on? And I looked down, and you know how like laptop batteries are sometimes, or not batteries, chargers are sometimes um, two cables connected together. Like, you plug one cable into the big box thing, the transformer, and then you plug that cable into sorry, and you plug that into your actual laptop. Well, the big box, the transformer, and the other cable were disconnected for whatever reason. I have no idea. It'd been charging all morning, so I don't know if I just stepped on it and undid it. But I fixed that, and I guess the game, with the recording software and everything else running, and the battery dying, it just started to die and crash and everything. So I had 20 minutes of unusable footage because when I started the next when I started the game up again, it hadn't saved, and it was back to where I was before, so I didn't want to like just have 2 episodes of me doing the exact same thing in the game. I'm sure other people would have been fine with it, but not me. I strive for perfection. Not really. But, so I made the episode again. I'm a little tired from it, frankly. I haven't been sleeping great. I haven't been able to talk to you as much, so everything just feels like... Sorry, I said no sad shit, and I meant it for these videos. What was I talking about? I was going to tell you about this movie I saw yesterday, which I actually wrote a much better review than I'm going to give you now, called... I wrote a better review in our old blog that I haven't used for 7 months, 8 months now, funnylittle.messages.blogspot.com. You can read a much better review. I'm only updating it now because we don't get to talk, and I need to talk to you because... I don't know. I need to talk to you in some way, and I can't email you. I'm making these videos for you, but I mean, talking versus typing is a lot more tiring. Lady, please sit down. Okay? Will you please sit down? No? Okay. You're fine. Make sure I can see. Lady stood up, and she's like right in my way. Luckily, I don't need to look out that way right now. Coming up to a light, so the only time I'll be able to go is when the light's on, so I shouldn't have to look too much that way, be too concerned. Not yet. Later I will be. Maybe I'll have to sit her down, and yeah. But yeah, I started updating it because typing is a lot easier than just talking, and typing takes longer, and I can talk to you for 40 minutes in the car, but typing, I can type 3 or 4 hours, and it might only come out to like 1,000 words, 3 or 4 pages, but it's at least more articulate, and picking up speed. We're going 55 now, so typing is just more articulate, better written, better expressed, yada yada, which I think all is like the same thing. But I'm driving, so I'm not focused too much on my diction. So I gotta speed this up a little. The windshield wipers. It's raining, and we're going faster, so it seems like it's raining more, which I never really got as a kid. When I was a kid, I obviously get it now. But I scoot up a little closer. I watched this movie Super, which is a really interesting movie. It's done by a director named James Gunn, who is the director who did Guardians of the Galaxy, which I really enjoyed. So I saw that, and I saw Rainn Wilson, who is in the American version of The Office. I don't know if you ever watched it or know who he is, but he's Dwight. He's the nerdy guy that everyone kind of teases, and he's got the really round, flat face, and he's got like the parted hair, and he just looks goofy at all times, and he's maybe a little like Asperger's or autistic. It's hard to really say. But I mean, like, it's obviously an exaggerated character that we would see in real life that wouldn't be Asperger's or autistic, but when it's exaggerated, that's kind of what it seems like. But what was I saying? It has Liv Tyler in it. It has Ellen Page. And it's kind of an indie movie. It's not really, but it's like something that I can definitely see a big studio not getting behind. Like, I don't call it an indie movie because it doesn't have like no names in it. It has a big director, it has big name actors, fairly big name actors, and it seems like it has a decent sized budget. But it's essentially like a realistic Batman movie. Like, if I decide one day I want to be Batman, or a superhero who doesn't have superpowers, who just goes out, and a vigilante who goes out, he saves people, etc. Which is what like every nerd wants, essentially. He wants to be the hero. But this is a really realistic take on it, and it gets really disturbing by the end of it, because of everything that would a would-be hero, would have to do in order to be a hero, in order to stop crime. He does it to start. He starts out doing it because he's trying to get his wife back from a drug dealer, though she left him. Not like she wasn't kidnapped or anything. She left him because this guy was more fun. It was interesting, which he's frankly not. His name is Frank, and he's a loser. He's like a short order cook, and he has like two defining moments in his life, and one of them is getting married to his wife, and the other one is helping a cop catch a criminal of some sort. He said he went that way, and he says those are like his only accomplishments in life, essentially. And sorry if that got loud from all the fast driving and everything. Hopefully you could still hear me. But yeah, so he's a loser. He knows it. We know it. But we're kind of sympathetic in relating to him. We feel bad for him, essentially. We pity him, but we don't think he's like a bad guy or a lunatic yet. And just like he goes out and he fights a drug dealer, but he needs a weapon. So he talks to the local comic book shop girl, Ellen Page, like 22, and kind of has a crush on him. It seems like at first, like it develops. Yeah, but she has a crush on him, and she's kind of helping him out. She doesn't know that he's this superhero, the vigilante named the Crimson Bolt, but she kind of suspects it after a while, after they talk about all this, and they come to the conclusion that he needs a weapon, and he needs a weapon, or a superhero, any superhero, a vague vigilante guy, needs a weapon, and he chooses a monkey wrench, which I don't know if you know what a monkey wrench is, but it's like, it's this heavy tool made of metal, and if you hit someone with it, their head's gonna crack open. And when he's beating up drug dealers and child molesters and thieves in this montage, you just kind of see you see like a bloody nose, you see like typical superhero gore, even though you kind of like hesitate as the audience member. You hesitate and you're like, this, with the whole tone of all this, with the realist kind of eye that they're taking to this, a monkey wrench is like really gonna hurt. That's dangerous. You're not just, maybe these guys are bad guys, but they don't deserve to have their heads cracked open, right? Not for dealing weed, not for, maybe for child molestation, but not for like stealing a purse. But you don't see that at first, and then he goes to gets in line. Sorry, I almost didn't know if I had my wallet on me. He gets in line at a movie theater as Frank, not as the Crimson Bolt, and these people cut in front of him. And he hears people behind him griping, like, why do they do that? Someone should do something about it. So Frank steps up, and he kind of goes, hey, get to the back of the line. There's no cuts. And they're just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Get out of here. Fuck off. Fuck you. That's what they said, I think. But he, he's determined to do something about it. So he gets it. He goes to his car. In his trunk, he has the costume and the monkey wrench, and he gets changed in his car, and like everyone can see him getting changed. They see his like whitey tighties and everything, and it's like a kind of comic scene, like dry comedy. And nope, it's not this turn. Next turn. Sorry, I didn't know which road we were on. But yeah, he gets his monkey wrench, and he goes and he says, "Hey, I said get to the back of the line." And I like, oh no, he doesn't say that. He says like, "Hey, I saw you cutting in line. That guy told me you cut in line, and I'm gonna make you get to the back of the line." That's what he said. And like, we know it's you. We know it's the same person. And so he kind of has a panic moment where he just like attacks the guy because his secret identity is being found out, and he cracks the guy on the top of the head, and it actually like cracks his skull open. You see it. It's kind of in a cheesy, like over the top, exaggerated way for effect, but it's also really gruesome. Like it's not too over the top. It's like it's just a little bit where it doesn't look realistic, but it looks movie realistic. It looks more realistic than what would happen in it. Like actual damage looks like it's done. Like his head's split. You know, you see the blood and the skin coming off, and you see down to the skull, and it's cracked. You might even see some brain. I don't know. And it's like everyone in line who's kind of been treating the Crimson Bolt, this vigilante, as a joke up till this point, kind of realized, oh shit, this guy isn't what we thought he was. And at the same time, I have hair in my eye. At the same time, the audience, the moviegoers, us, we're thinking the same thing. You know, we're thinking he's maybe a little crazy, or maybe a little in over his head. At least he's unprepared. Which, like, he feels bad for everything that happened, but mainly because he thinks he's getting caught, not because he's done any actual damage. He thinks he's going to get caught now, and so he feels bad. I'm almost at the Burger King. But he feels bad, and you know, we're kind of like, okay, we'll give him another chance. Maybe he'll mend his ways or something. And he does. He's about to go. He's very seriously considering ending his career as a superhero. But he's done this so that he can rescue his wife, rescue with quotes, his wife, and so he has to do that before he retires. So he goes to Kevin Bacon's mansion, and he sees them together. He sees that she's high on drugs or something, and he breaks a window out of rage, and they see him, and they have guns, and so, and he's never had to deal with this apparently before, and so they shoot at him, and he runs, and he gets shot in the leg. And probably the least realistic scene of it is he might just get grazed, but he gets shot, and he goes to Ellen Page's house or apartment. And he's like, "Help me! I've been shot, whatever." And he reveals that he's the Crimson Bolt. She's like, "I knew it," and so she helps him by nursing him back to health in like 10 minutes by dumping a whole bottle of rubbing alcohol on him and wrapping a bandage around it. And that's the like most unrealistic part of the film. Which, I mean, if you're shot in the leg, your leg's not going to be working for a while. Even if it's grazed, you're not going to be walking around. Sorry, we're almost here, so I'm going to just stop talking for a minute until I order, unless there's a line. I don't think there is. Yeah, there's. Okay, so I'm going to keep talking. But yeah, so Libby, Ellen Page, decides that she's going to become his sidekick, his kid sidekick. She's 22. And she's like, puts on kind of a sexy costume. You know, Ellen Page isn't the sexiest looking person. She's not very busty, not very curvy, etc. So it doesn't really look as sexy as like a comic book character. But even if you were like Beyonce, it wouldn't look that good, just because, you know, people don't have those proportions that comic book characters have. Like, they have tits as big as their head. Okay, I'm ordering now, so don't talk. Hi, can I get the number 2 plain? Medium. What? Yes, please. Coke?
I have a double waffle with chicken combo meal plain with the Coke. Anything else for you?
Nope, that'll be it.
Sorry, 25 please.
$9.20. So I got a double Whopper with cheese, plain, with a Coke. And it's raining on my arm. So yeah, he, Bolty and him, his sidekick, Bolty, Ellen Page, they go and they kind of, they try to fight crime, and I didn't mention this earlier, but the first time he goes out and tries to fight crime, he just kind of crouches behind a dumpster and waits for it. Waits for it to happen. And a day passes, and he observes, yesterday there was no crime. Which is probably the funniest part of the movie, I'd say. And maybe him and the eggs. But anyway. But this happens again, and she's like, oh, we have to go out and find it. And he says, okay, do you know any criminals or any criminal activity? And she's like, oh, this guy I went to school with keyed my friend's car a year ago, and what a dick move or whatever. We should go teach him a lesson. And he's like, okay, sure, yeah, we can do that. And so they break into his house, and they end up killing the guy. She kills him because she's new at this. She like beats him over the head with a statue, with a vase. They do like at least they kill him. And Frank is like, oh no, that's not how we do this. This was a mistake. I never should have brought you in. You're not ready for this. Yada yada yada. And she's like, no, you're supposed to teach me. I didn't know any better. It's my first time. Yada yada yada. And you kind of realize that she's not really regretting it. She's just regretting that doing it caused the end of this partnership. But as they're having this discussion, stop, lady, not yet. As they're having this discussion, Kevin Bacon's men have found the Crimson Bolt, found Frank, and they attack him with guns and everything. They're ready to kill him, and they realize he's no longer not a threat. They realize he is a threat, and it's sorry, we're getting ready to pay. I'll continue. Oh, shit. Thanks.
Mommy to watch.
One more window.
How are you?
I'm good. Yep.
Have a great day.
I was just rolling up my window to so that my arm wasn't just getting soaked. Come on, they should be a little quicker about it. I mean, I realize you can only go so quick, but they were just like, they had it sitting there, and they were just kind of waiting for it. And I'm like, I'm sitting here in the rain. Stop taking that other person's order and deal with me, the person who's getting wet. They're not getting wet. They can wait with their car up. I guess I could too, but yeah. Anyway, I need a fry. I have to make sure they're good. Good, not that salty. I mean, that's what makes a fry good, in my opinion. You probably think ketchup and everything makes it good. I prefer salt. Just salt. I'm sure you like the salt on it too. Anyway, I was talking about Super, this movie, and yeah. So Kevin Bacon's guys are attacking him, and Frank is very clearly gonna lose, going to die, and so Libby hits one of them with a car, rams into him, just floors it into him, and crushes him against a brick wall, and it obviously kills him. It crushes his lower half, and you know, she's really excited by it. Like, you can see it in her eyes that she is a maniac about this. Like, there's no regret. She thinks she's doing justice, and that, you know, she has like no qualms about killing someone for the sake of justice. Which, I mean, even if it was like a righteous killing or whatever. Sorry, I was reading someone's bumper plate. Even if it was a righteous killing, you would still like hesitate a little if you're a sane person, right? Unless like they've been torturing you or something. Torturing someone you like, someone you love. Anyway, and so that kills one of the guys, and there's one more with a gun, and Frank grabs the gun of the dead guy and shoots this other guy, and it's like the first time he's killed someone. And he kind of like snaps, like he's gone too far, and at this point we realize he's lost cause. Essentially, he's a lunatic. There's nothing that can save him at this point. Maybe he got into this for all the right reasons, but at this point he is just crazy. Like, he's beyond hope. But while this is happening, while we're realizing this, there's a news feed going on talking about all the criminals who he's assaulted before. The child molesters and the thieves and all that. And they're saying that that cops have realized that he was only attacking criminals. He was attacking people with felony arrest records already who were committing further crimes. And so public opinion of him has now like accepted that he's a hero. That it's like this is he is Batman or whatever. You know, they have a very high opinion of him suddenly. So it's like this weird disconnect between us and the people of his world, the news audience of his world, and the audience of the movie. And so he goes, and he's snapped. He's going to get his wife back, and he's ready. Like, he's killed once, he can kill all of these people again. He knows he can, and he just has to get guns. So he gets guns. He gets stuff for making bombs. He gets like Kevlar body armor. He gets like sharp weapons for slitting people's throats. And they go and they assault the compound. And they have the element of surprise, but they have the element of surprise, but you know, that only lasts for like as long as it takes for them to throw a pipe bomb. Once the guards hear a pipe bomb go off, which kills like 4 or 5 people, very gruesomely. You see like the blood painting the grass. And then the guards are like ready with their guns, and they're ready to kill, and they know that this guy's a real threat. And so they come out here, and on like in a regular movie, the bad guys are gonna shoot like 100 times, and they might like nick the hero. In this, they shoot like 4 times, and they hit each of them. They hit Libby, and they hit Frank. And Frank gets hit in the chest, and his Kevlar protects him. He gets knocked down, and Libby gets knocked down too. But when Frank stands up, he sees that she was hit in the face, and like a quarter of her head is blown off. You know, it's another exaggerated for effect kind of visual aid, but still very, very gruesome. You don't expect to see like Ellen Page's brain across the grass in a dark comedy. It's just, at this point, it's no longer a comedy. So fueled by rage, you know, Frank goes in, he kills all the people, and he comes to Kevin Bacon and his wife, Sarah, who Kevin Bacon let her get raped by like this drug dealer that he was doing business with, because he observed very coolly, like, you know, absolutely no emotion, no regret, whatever, he's a psychopath. That if a warlord, if someone thinks your girlfriend's a whore, or is just another whore, he says, like, if someone thinks your girlfriend is just another one of the whores that you hired, then it's time to move on, right? So he lets the warlord take her, or the drug dealer take her, and he like doesn't stop the guy from raping her, and whatever. It's like a very psychopathic scene, I guess. And so Frank gets in there, and Sarah's ready to go back with Frank because she realizes that these people are bad people, even though Frank is a really bad person too. But Frank has the chance to kill Kevin Bacon, and Sarah's pleading, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And it's like she's the only human person in this movie, really. And what was I saying? Like, she's pleading, don't do it, and he's like, okay, I won't. And then Kevin Bacon just like turns on him and shoots Frank in the chest a few times, and he's about to execute him. He's like monologuing and stuff, and whatever. There's a reversal, and Kevin Bacon and his bacon bits get annihilated by a sharp thing. Like he gets shot in the dick, essentially, and he's on the ground squealing, and now Frank has a choice. Do I let him live, or do I finish the job? And he decides, I'm gonna finish the job. And it's just like it's what you would expect from him after seeing him for this entire movie. Like, he's absolutely crazy at this point. It's not a feel-good sort of film. It's not like an enjoyable film, but it's a very interesting movie. And it's definitely a realistic take on what I think it would be like if someone decided to be Batman. They would have to be like a psychopath to actually be effective, and even if public opinion of them was high, it would only be because we didn't know like the details of everything that was going on, and this showed us the details. When I feed Lady, I always feed her with my right hand because it's supposed to do her, and because she gets slobber all over my hand, and I like to lick the salt off the other one. I don't want to lick her slobber off my hand. So yeah, that was my big discussion, probably like 20 minutes about this movie Super, which was it's an interesting movie. I think it's worth seeing. I don't know that it's not something that would make you feel good. Like, it's worth seeing for a nerd who likes those kinds of movies, like superhero movies, because it kind of gives you a better perspective on what it would actually be like. For you or someone who doesn't really like superhero movies, or someone who just enjoys enjoying movies, then it's probably not the best film to see. Not that you are one of those people, but you don't really watch superhero movies, right? I think you told me that. Like, you've never seen like the Avengers or Batman. You tried to watch The Dark Knight, but you didn't like it, which is fine. You don't have to like all the movies that everyone else likes, which is good that you don't actually. You don't like Lincoln, which is weird for every American, I think. I think every American enjoyed Lincoln just because he's like one of our founding heroes, So that Burger King we were just at, you couldn't see it, but since I was in high school, so 7 years ago at least, 6 years ago at least, but it's been at least 7 years. They have had this billboard, this neon sign saying, open lane 1, open lane 2. So like it splits it, because you don't really have drive-thrus elsewhere in the world, but we do. We have drive-thrus everywhere, and we have so many drive-thrus that we actually have like 2 drive-thrus at each. We have 2 drive-thru lanes at a lot of restaurants that are like very busy. But Burger King has been planning to have 2 restaurants for about 2 drive-thru lanes, and they're not adding extra windows. It's not really improving. It's just 2 places where you place your order. It's not I don't know how to explain this to you. It's so weird. It's like, it makes no goddamn sense, for one. But, it makes you feel like they've actually gotten your order. It makes sense for them. It doesn't speed anything up for us, though. It doesn't speed anything up for them either. But not really. But I guess it feels like it does. But, like, you place your order, and then they go and they make it, and then, like, but you still go to the same place, even though you're in two different lines. You go to the same place, so you all kind of converge together. There's like a big traffic jam. There's usually a mix-up if it's like lunchtime, rush hour, or whatever, where someone will get in front of someone else, and so the orders will be in the wrong order, and it's ridiculous. Oh shit! I've had my blinker on, my turn signal on for the past. Oh shit! The rain stopped too. I had the turn signal on for the past like quarter mile, which I didn't mean to. Yeah, I was switching lanes, and I wasn't turning, but I was switching lanes. And you gotta turn your turn signal on when you're switching lanes. But then after I switched lanes, I didn't turn it off. So I shouldn't talk with food in my mouth. So Miri, we talked yesterday. I'm dating this on Wednesday. Yesterday was Wednesday. And we got to talk briefly, email. It's when you sent the sexy picture, very sexy. And I'm really happy that we got to talk, okay? I don't know if it came through because I didn't really have much to say. I couldn't think of anything because I was just, like, being taken from a low to a very high suddenly. It's hard to process. And I'm doing a lot better today than I was yesterday. I actually felt like doing shit today. Not in a great mood or anything, but the day is not dragging. It's already 2 o'clock. I mean, it feels like it should be 5 o'clock, but yesterday at 2 o'clock it felt like it should be 10 o'clock, and it wasn't. So yeah, I mean, the day is going a lot faster. So I hope we get to talk again soon. I understand if we don't. I understand that we're doing this for my safety and for yours, for us, for our future. It's just, it sucks that we don't get to have our usual level of communication. It's not your fault, okay? I know you think it is, that you made a mistake, and you didn't, okay? It was the Facebook administrator of that group. It was Facebook in general being stupid and non-private, even though you set it to private. I don't know why that guy found you or how he found you, but yeah, I mean, people have a lot of problems with Facebook's privacy issues, so I guess, yeah, I don't know. But I'm going to go inside. I'm going to enjoy my burger and my fries as much as I can, and my drink, my soda, and I'm going to upload this video, and I hope we get to talk soon, okay? I love you. And I don't just mean like a Skype call, just email or Skype, I am. But a Skype call would be great. I don't know. I think it'll feel a little more normal once we can actually do that again. Okay. I love you. Talk to you later.